Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Stadium game. I've been reading the YouTube comments a lot recently. I mean, I always read every YouTube comment, but I do hear some of your suggestions about what we should build, what we should go for, and one which keeps on popping up are ultimate-based builds using Coalescence. There's a lot of powers in there. Those of you who also read my replies will sometimes see that I very much dislike ultimate builds. I feel like you put all your eggs in one basket. So, you may get to use your ult once, twice around, and you've got to accomplish so much with it. And the amount of value that you lose in general throughout the rest of the round, I don't feel like Moira's ult makes up for it. But we're going to give it a go. Now, I don't have a build prepared, so we're going to do some experimentation. Scientific death odd first. Okay, look, these are not the most serious ultimate builds, and I will tell you also, the second game in this video is possibly the most random build I've ever done. It's weird. I seriously recommend you stick around and check that one out. But this one's going to be a little bit more normal, except we're just going to experiment a bit. I like to see how much value can we get out of just having scientific death odd in round one. Everybody's got quite low health in the first round, so your ultimate has quite a lot of value, right? So if we can fade through, it also means that we get a fair amount of survivability. If we can build this ult quite quickly, we might be able to actually get decent value out of it. So this is the experiment. Let's see how it goes. So we're up against a Xayah, Pharah, a Vendetta, Mercy, and Juno. That's not the best for a scientific death odd build because there's so many people in the sky. It's very tricky to fade through players. But there is one reason why I decided this was the game that I was going to go for an ult build, and that's who can stop me from using my ult. Like, where are the stuns? The crowd control, right? Here we go. We got our first ult. We're trying to target the Mercy. Mercy gets a little bit weak. We take Mega. I mean, problem is Juno's just healing her up. Okay. We do manage to get the Mercy down. On our team also, we've got Xayah, Soldier 76, Cassidy. We've got me on Moira and a Kiriko. So yeah, already, I mean, we got the ult quite quickly. 50% is capped. So we could potentially get 2 more ults, depending on if the enemy team do manage to take the point. In the meantime, our Xayah trying to, well, not really trying to survive, surviving on point quite comfortably. As, yeah, we're now up to 75% capped. Pharah Mercy is going to be a bit tricky. Vendetta should hopefully be able to give us a bit of scientific death odd fade throughs. Same with the Xayah. We can wait around and just get cheeky ones like that. Juno putting some damage on us. We did manage to trigger a stratosphere beacon there. And nobody managed to get to the point. So we're going to take the first round 1-0. A nice 2k cash lead for our team. And we do get MVP. We got MVP running just scientific death odd. That's kind of wild. Then again, I don't think too much happened in that round. So let's see how round 2 is going to go. We get a second power. It's an ultimate build. It has to be Destruction's Divide. So this combo's kind of cool. You will be able to build ultimates quicker, and then you get to use your ultimates quicker. Now we take wrist wraps. With Coalescence, you can take ability, power, or attack speed, and that's going to increase the amount of damage from your Coalescence. Skyline nanites, they have a lot of flyers. So think about this. That scenario that happened with the Mercy, if she's flying around, we're going to deal a lot more damage with our ultimate. It does mean though that we kind of suffer on regular stats just throughout the game really. But hey, look, a bit more ability damage on flyers, going to be quite decent. So yeah, Coalescence scales from both ability power and attack speed. If you don't believe me on the attack speed, just think when you're in a Kiriko ult, your Coalescence does more damage, right? It's simple because it ticks faster. Now, from my test, 10% ability power is about the same damage increase as 10% attack speed on your Coalescence. So you can kind of pick either, but of course you've got to take into account which is going to affect you in the regular game, attack speed or orbs. We haven't got any orb powers right now, so attack speed's pretty good. As we're just trying to get those scientific death odd ult charge. The overhealth also helps against things like that. Juno, very low, does get taken down. On the Mercy, I want to fade through some players here. Up to 46% ult. I mean, relying exclusively on scientific death odd for ult building is not that efficient. Maybe should have fired the heal orb a bit quicker there. So yeah, we might even be able to just generate ultimate faster here just by healing our team up. Healing's generally more consistent than damages because your team control the value of heals, whereas the enemy team control the value of your damage, and therefore you're more likely to get value when your team want it than when the enemy team don't want it. Either way, the first ult is coming up now. Let's see if we can make use of it. We want to use our ults almost as soon as we get them, because we obviously want time to build up other ultimates. Juno in a bit of trouble, does get taken down. That was actually the Skyline Nanites. It was the damage over time because we weren't currently shooting them. Mercy also taken down. We did also get the Pharaoh earlier. Juno very, very weak. I mean, that was a good call. That was a good ultimate combination for sure. Try and fire the orb at the Pharaoh, get a little bit of the additional damage to airborne targets if we can. Thank you, Zaya, for that little bit of ult charge. He knobbed towards the rest of our team. Okay, we haven't got our fade yet. We just about managed to get it. Kiriko's healing us, which is nice. Expecting a barrage here. But, I mean, maybe they realise they don't need it. Healing orb keeping us alive for a bit. Scientific death orb with the overhealth. Vendetta's chasing us down. There's also a Juno around there. We can't escape it. We do have the most damage on our team, which is, again, interesting. Without Chain Grasp, or, I mean, I guess cross orbals, you know, we fire the damage orbs anyway. It'd just be the healing that we get. Oh, Soldier in a little bit of trouble. Okay, Kiriko also TP there. We want to make sure that we get that ult charge out of them. Okay, Pharaoh and Mercy are still around. Someone's got to deal with this quickly, though, because enemy team is making a lot of progress on the objective. Pharaoh does get taken down. Zai's going to be a bit low. I was going to say watch out for the enemy Grav. We do fade through, get a nice chunk of overhealth and our ult. Unfortunately, we can't use our ult now because there are no enemies alive. I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but if we could use it now, it's a slim chance, but maybe in an overtime contest we might be able to get another ult after this one, but yeah, that's fine. Right, I know what I want to do here. I want to fade jump up top. Coalescence comes in, should have fired the orb first, but we didn't. Get over it. Like the video instead. Okay, there wasn't really that much damage there. Mercy does get taken down by the Zaya. Juno as well. We're still behind right now, but there's only really the Zaya alive. Fade through for the overhealth. We're not going to get an ult in time here. Pharaoh's also spamming over onto the point. Heal orbs bouncing around. We've just got to wait for this checkpoint to conclude. Okay, the robot's moving again. Anybody going to come in for the contest? Pharaoh's not going to go for the touch. Probably smart. They wouldn't have been able to do anything but a 1 second delay. We get MVP. 10,600 cash. We're certainly not just, you know, getting really rich with this build, and you wouldn't expect to. I think the best way to actually do the ult builds is to focus more on the regular game at first and then scale into the ults later on. But I wanted more rounds using ultimate just so that we can see what happens. Now I do know what I want to get here, because there's one little secret when it comes to the ultimate. In fact, alternative energy is really good. Remember I said it scales off of ability power and attack speed? I mean, we're effectively getting plus 25 stats. The item, I won't keep you in the dark about it. So the Gadget, if you don't know, the Gadget Super Serum, it increases your attack speed, and I think it reduces your weapon damage and healing. But Coalescence is an ability, so you just get the plus 50% attack speed when you use it. Spoiler alert, I do get that in the second game. And another spoiler alert, I hated it. So instead we take Frenzy Amplifier in this game. So think about it, if we get that first kill with Coalescence, it's going to give us additional attack speed and movement speed to potentially run down another target, and then it's just that snowball effect. Again, though, it does mean that we kind of suffer in the regular game. It'd be great if they had a Kiriko, though, on a clone, because that, yeah, At that point, I'd probably end up picking Chain Grasp or something to go with it, because we'd just be able to get so much regular game damage without adjusting our abilities too much. Pharah getting some damage over onto us. Zaya's there. We bounced the heal orb, but that's all we had. We did get eliminated. It's quite a bad map for a Moira that isn't on orbs or Chain Grasp and against this many flyers, but we're just going to see what we can do. And remember, Coalescence. We might be able to burn the flyers down. So, speaking of which, our Cassidy kind of crushing a couple of players there. So we chase down the Juno, at least zone her out of the fight. Vendetta's going to drop as well, and it's going to be our time to get some objective distance. I don't want to be the one on the objective. I'd probably go there just by default after that fight. But in this case, I want to be close so that I can do that. So that I can get some additional ult charge, because that's our whole build. If we sit back inactive and we're not using that scientific death odd to generate the ult charge, then what's the point in going the ultimate build? Right, we've nearly got our ult. Oh, Kiriko ults in as well. We've got it now. Use it as soon as we get it. No real targets though, but with Destruction's Divide, you do get extra time on the Coalescence. I think it's 10 seconds instead of 8 or something like that. We do manage to eliminate the Xayah. Also save our teammate. And the Vendetta goes down. So, I mean, the ult's decent enough. Again, this is not... Oh. This is not an optimal ult build, right? You can definitely design one better. So, I know people will ask for the build code in the comments, but there is no build code for either of these games. And I recommend you don't take the build code from the second game. Not unless you're... Yeah... high-ranked Moira main who wants to do something different in Stadium. Or actually, anyone can run it, of course. It's not complicated. Moira's not a complicated hero. But if you like winning games, there's better builds. Fade it. There we go. Xayah's on us, though. Heal orb. Oh, the grav didn't save us. It was, in fact, targeted over onto the... Wait, that was a grav on the Juno, and they didn't get the kill on them? Interesting. Well, our team is still in the lead. We've nearly got Coalescence again. Oh, we just need a little bit more. Juno's slowed here. Get the kill on them. I don't know if we should be using that. We can use it for healing. Well, other Moira might use that for healing. We went max damage. Pharah taken down. Missed the little fade jump up top, but it's okay because Mercy left there anyway. But not enough damage to take down anyone, really. So let's just try and get that over health for survival. Can we keep the Cassidy alive? Missiles are coming in. No, we absolutely can't. Let's get up top. Xayah can't chase us unless she's got the little jumpy right click thing, which doesn't look like she has. I haven't seen her doing that at any point in this game. We fade into a lot of players and we whiff our heal orb. Luckily, nobody punishes us for that. Okay, fade throughs. We're at 81%. We've nearly got our ult. Heal orb onto us. Farah's chasing around. It's currently around the back. We're just looking for a fade through. There's one, 99%. Coalescence. Over onto the Pharah. She's got a bit of armor though. She's dealing a lot of damage. When you're holding down the right click of Destruction's Divide, Coalescence does not heal you. So we had a choice there that we could have just held down left click and got like additional healing, like self-healing. Or we can go for the kill and then try the healing. We tried that and fair enough. It worked and didn't work. So we only get 9k cash that round. Kiriko is starting to earn some decent money. Enemy Xayah, the MVP of the round, with 14k cash. What are we going to go here? We get an additional power. So, deconstruction. Again, think about it. So, we want to enhance the damage of our Coalescence. Well, there's many ways to do that, and one of them is just to self-damage amp yourself. So we've got 13,480 cash left. Cyber Venom could be good, actually, because while we're ulting players, we'll be applying Cyber Venom, which means if they receive some healing, they'll get eliminated. Now the question is what to spend the rest of the money on. Do we even want Cyber Venom? I'm not sure. So we can sell electrolytes and get something like custom stock. That would be okay. We've already got wrist wraps though. Power Playbook will give us 10% ability power, but winning attitude. Kind of forgot about that. When you die, get 15% ultimate charge. Well, look, we tend to get killed quite a lot in this game, so let's just get the free ult charge. We had the money spare. Alternatively, we could have gone for Frenzy Amplifier. I believe we sold that already. But we are currently 3 rounds up, so let's see if we can just close this one off by winning this one. It's not the best map for their flyers, but it's also not the best map for our ult build. Okay. Yeah, we did fade through them. Got a little bit of overhealth there. Juno missiles coming in, not going to hit us because we are behind cover. Let's get out there and... Oh, okay, Juno taken down. Mercy's around here, but opts not to go for any res there. Flat bounce the heal orb, so it bounces back towards the point. It will get us or heal our team. Always bounce your orbs, people. And I mean, okay, we're just kind of crushing this one. Our Cassidy is popping off, though. Okay, we did get an assist for that. I mean, maybe the 2 hit scans is just too much for Team Flyer over here. Scientific Death Odd. It is always a little bit of a risk to fade like that, because if they aggressively chase you, knowing you've used your fade, then, you know, we're not getting a lot of health from Scientific Death Odd. It's more about the ult charge. We also haven't really built that much health in this entire match. I normally like to be a lot more tanky than this. I mean, we're going into round 4, and if we didn't have the overhealth, we're, you know, in the mid 300s for it. Oh, hold that thought. Mercy was very, very low. Can we get a down? Destruction's Divide. Okay, the soldier finishes everyone off by the looks of it, but I feel like we did the bulk of the damage to some of those targets. So I could have grab. If she grabs this, is not the end of the world here. So they still need to go and contest the point. Juno. Yeah, fine. Okay. So the first game, the ult build went pretty well. We certainly managed to get some kills. Again, I still don't think it's better than most of Moira's builds, but you could definitely build her much worse. So we're going to go into this second game. Do not try this at home, kids. It's not the way you want to be building Moira. Oh, go on, try it for fun. Try it in quick play. I wonder if you can guess what we take in what order. So, first round. Looking at their team, Ryan, Junk, Ash, Moira and Mercy. Empowering you. No, we're not taking Empowering You. Don't take Empowering You. Just play Mercy. Deconstruction round 1 would be very interesting. I mean, 20% increased damage. It's not better than Chain Grasp, but let's try it. Let's have a go with just Deconstruction in round 1. Not something I run very often. I would normally go with something like Stratosphere to get some health here, but since we're going for Deconstruction, we also want to buy additional damage, right? Because it's going to amplify that. So we also primed our Deconstruction by healing just under half of our health bar. So our resource bar even. So we just spray the air until we get just under half, and now we can activate it with just a tiny little spray. So you do that in spawn. Of course, we only fired our orb with that. We're not going to get anything else. Okay. Oh, enemy team's Junkrat pushing aggressively. Moira just getting the healing though. Okay. Gonna fade back. On our team, we've got Orisa, Ash, Cassidy, Moira, and Anna. Or Anna. Never know how to pronounce that. The Ash is hitting some shots. At the very start of the game, normally we're just trying to kind of gauge the ability level of all of the players. Junkrat seems pretty decent and Ash is hitting shots, so this already feels like it's going to be a difficult game, especially when you're on Deconstruction round 1. It's, yeah, a bit tricky, but in theory we should be doing a decent amount of healing, just because we want to activate the power. But at the same time, we have to be using damage, otherwise what's the point? So the other thing is that I wouldn't focus too much on trying to activate Deconstruction all the time. It will activate naturally. If you really focus on it, I feel like you'll often lose value, because you'll stop doing damage just to amp it, and you could have actually just put out damage anyway. We currently have our damage amp, but the enemy Moira is there. Oh, Junkrat, we've got to have a bit of respect for them. I mean, it's still early, but they're certainly playing like a good Junkrat does, so nice little bit of spam come through and hit us there. Enemy team making big objective progress again. The junk being very frustrating. We get skill orbed. It happens. Moira diff, right? Okay. Enemy. Yeah. Okay. Well, enemy Moira is getting very rich here, and we will never catch up to that. We do have our Coalescence though, but we need to prime our deconstruction at some point. Ideally before we use that. This Orisa's a perfect target. Okay, we can't use Coalescence while the tire's active though. I mean, you can, but you know, we could just get immediately eliminated. Can we get any kill over onto the Moira? No, didn't get him around the corner. There's no point in us walking down those stairs because of the shatter, so we didn't contest it. And yeah, we're a little bit broke. 10k cash. Deconstruction against the Ryan as well is a little bit... I mean, it's not a good idea. It'll probably work better against a number of other heroes, but because Ryan's just going to shield half of it anyway, it's not going to work. So obviously we have to go for deconstruction. So, not deconstruction, scientific death odd. Not scientific death odd either. Destruction's Divide. Obviously we have to go for Destruction's Divide because it's an ult build, which means we're also going to go for wrist wraps. We learned from the previous game, we're going to get winning attitude very, very early. And since I mentioned earlier that ability power and attack speed scale for Coalescence about the same rate, it makes sense to pick up Power Playbook and get 10% ability power rather than picking up Weapon Grease and getting 5% attack speed. So that's what we do. Now our health is not very high here, 284. I normally would... yeah, I'd get a bit more than that, but it's fine. We're going a little bit glass cannon with this build. I mean, we're stacking damage amp and a damage amped Coalescence, so we ideally want to make sure that we're using deconstruction before Coalescence. That is the whole idea of getting it. But again, what I said earlier, we don't want to leak too much value by messing around trying to over prime it. Oh, Junkrat. Okay, I mean, healing's still going to build us ults, right? So we've got to get up the stairs here. Just keeps us safe from any pins. Heal over onto the Orisa. Oh, okay, Anna just about surviving there. We missed the orb. Okay, well, our team have capped the point. We've got Orisa with the barriers as well, which is very good for our survival. Let's go with the damage orb because we need some heal resources. We do get quite a bit off of the Junkrat, but I mean, we really need to get some right clicks over onto somebody. Mercy donates a little bit. The Moira orbs are really annoying, actually. I can see why people hate Moira. Okay, what's happening here? Want to make sure we get that trap. Don't walk into it, Orisa. Okay, good. The question is she going to survive here? Ashe with the double shot, also amped by the Mercy. We've got our ult, but it's a bit late to use it here. Like, other players are going to be having their ult around this time. Now, obviously, we haven't got Scientific Death Odd, but God, I'm going to get the powers mixed up so much. So, we can't pre-prime we can't pre-prime deconstruction now because we don't know how far it was going to be. Got to use a bit of healing from Destruction's Divide. We were targeting the tank, but their health wasn't moving quick enough. We were targeting the Ashe. Her health wasn't moving quick enough with the Mercy there. Can we get the Mercy down? Yes, we can. I mean, we used basically all of our ult for it. Orisa does get taken down. We have, in fact, both tanks are eliminated right now. The Bob, actually a lucky fade. We were fading the next shot from the Ashe. The orb's coming in as well. I mean, I want to get in and contest the point, but the Bob's still there, so we're just going to bounce a heal orb. We do manage to contest it, but in comes all of the Moira orbs. We're standing in the middle of the Phantasm orb, but we do get the kill. Ryan's there. We've got to back off. Orisa on the point, though, to try and contest, but there's a Junkrat tire around. We haven't yet got our fade. Now we've got the fade. We can maybe step out and try and bait it just to get it away from our tank. Do manage to do that quite easily, actually. But yeah, before the fade, we can't show ourselves because, well, for obvious reasons. Big ult from Orisa. Junkrat's over on the point, but we want to block the Mercy from any res potential. She's taken down, and that's going to work. Can we get the Ashe as well? I think we got her just after the round ended. But still got to either way. It counts. MVP. Wow, look at that. 11,500 cash earned. That worked awkwardly well.
The teams are facing off in Clash.
Round 3 onto the Clash map. No power this time, but as I said, Super Serum. It's a very nice gadget. You've just got to use it at the right time. Now I'm thinking advanced nanobiotics would normally make sense with your Coalescence, because when you're healing an ally, that includes yourself, you're going to get the additional attack speed, which benefits Coalescence. The problem is with Destruction's Divide. Remember earlier I said if you hold the right click, it doesn't self-heal you. Well, in which case we're not going to be healing an ally, so therefore we're not going to get the attack speed. So I didn't opt for that, and I just thought, well, Shield Buster kind of does the same thing. Only when we're attacking armor and things, so we'll go for that. There may have been some other alternatives, but yeah, let's just stack up that attack speed and see what happens. So now this gets a little bit complicated. I mean, the Genji mains and the Doomfist mains will be laughing when I say this. It's like, oh, we've got to press a couple of buttons in order, but when you're used to playing Moira in one way and now you've got to play her a different way, it actually gets kind of tricky. So we want to prime our deconstruction, then use our gadget, then use our ultimate. Now we've got to remember to hold right click on the ultimate. Doesn't sound that complicated, but you don't have a lot of time with all of the abilities, so you got to make sure that you use them at the right times. So we prime deconstruction, we fire the orb, we pop the gadget and immediately got pinned. That's because I'm focused so much on like checking if deconstruction is on. By the way, you see little up arrows on your screen when you're getting damage amped from deconstruction. So you got to pay attention to those just to know when they appear. So that was a bit unfortunate. The gadget's cooldown isn't that long. It's generally, you can't use it multiple times in one fight, but you can kind of use it every fight. Orisa does get taken down. There's the Junkrat spam. The Phantasm Orb means we can't push, especially not with 11 health. After getting spammed out by the Junkrat. An enemy team going to be capturing the middle point. We have our gadget again. We can use it now because I don't think we're going to get our ult before it's back up again. It'll be close, but you can generally, yeah, 50% you can go for it. Although having said that, we have gained quite a lot on our ult. The Ashe is shooting as well. I don't know if she's shooting at us, but we heard the gunshots, and with the Ashe being quite accurate throughout the game so far, the Junkrat's so annoying. It doesn't look, it's not a zip grease build, I don't think, but it's very frustrating to play against. Can we get damage out onto the Mercy? No. Instead, that's probably a bit of a blessing here. Coalescence, Destruction's Divide. The tie gets us though. We do assist in getting the Moira down, but it certainly wasn't our finest ult. Yeah, so far I've found the gadget use really awkward. So if I play like 5 games in a row or something and I'm buying this gadget, I start using it all the time. I'm very used to priming it, but when I haven't used it for quite a while, we just mess it up the whole time. We've used the gadget there for a bit of healing. Can we get the Moira down? We absolutely can. Little chase down. Again, we're not going to have our ultimate, so we still want to use that gadget, not just save it for that purpose. Junkrat spam coming in as well. Want to get some healing over onto the Orisa. We have to fade the dynamite. Watch out for Ryan Shatter here. That's why we're backing off round to this corner. Looking for cover that we can just strafe behind. And it looks like he's trying to line it up, but there's an Ashe behind. Yeah, the Ashe is behind us as well. We're so focused on that Shatter, or potential Shatter. We don't actually know if he's got one, but it looked like he was trying to line his body up with both the Orisa and Iron. Why would Orion do that unless there's a Shatter? A little bit of reading body language there. So Orisa, okay, Phantasm Orb from the enemy Moira was enough there. Still, I haven't heard the Ryan use Shatter, so we're going to get over onto the high ground. Unfortunately, our Orisa does get taken down. Got our ult now. Gadget popped as well. Damage over onto the Ashe. Very low health. We get bounced up into the air. We're going to have to fade, though. That's going to eat out some of our time from the Coalescence. Moira, we've got to hold left click there to try and self-heal us. And yeah, Moira with just her own sustain combined with Mercy. It's too much for our Destruction's Divide build. I don't know, the Gadget just felt... Look how broke we are. The Gadget just felt really awkward to use, and yeah, I think we're going to get rid of it this round. But it definitely should feature in any serious ult builds that you're going to be, you know, creating yourselves. It is a great item. For now, we're going to sell Frenzy Amplifier. Yeah, simply because we want to see how much money we've got. I don't even know the name of the item that I bought a second ago, but it's the one that gives ult charge when you spawn. So, well, you know, at the start of the round. So I thought, let's just get that, see if we can get one early on. We've currently picked Alternative Energy and Nano Cola. We're going to sell our electrolytes because we've got 4k cash if we do. And with that, just be able to get a bit more ability power as well. So enemy team, they are a nice 6k ahead of us in cash.
Only 20 seconds left until we kick this round
So
off.
team trying to discuss what we can do against this. Orisa, I think, was going originally for shield break over onto the Rhine. But the Rhine is stacking shield powers, which just means the Orisa's probably making the right call here. You know, we need to kind of work around the Rhine rather than try and just bust through the middle, right?
3, 2,
Yeah, look.
1.
Look, it's all like barriers. Right. Round 4, deconstruction primed. The orbs a miss. We did bounce it, and it is getting a little bit of damage on players, but yeah, we're focusing on the deconstruction. Obviously for the first orb, that's fine, but I actually just like it when it accidentally procs. Ryan's getting very low. I think we were making the right decision, but the result was just poor there. Like, we wanted to try and kill the Rhine and then save the Orisa rather than save the Orisa and hope they survive versus the Rhine. Because, you know, if they get a couple of swings, our healing's not going to keep them alive anyway. But it was long range fire from the Ash that took them down. This Junkrat is so annoying. We tried strafing, like, over onto one of the walls and then not moving back to the middle during that fight, because for every Junkrat, imagine somebody in that room, if they're on the right-hand wall, you're going to expect them to not just stand still, but actually move in the only direction they're able to move in, which would be into the center again. So the Junkrat's always... Oh, speaking of the Junkrat, just going before spawn. So yeah, the Junkrat's going to aim their crosshair to fire down the center of the room, so we kind of just stayed on one wall, and even then the spam was still hitting us. Like, quite a bit. Frustrating to play against, but not as frustrating as Zip Grease, I don't think. I don't even know what build they're fully going here. I mean, it seems like a very Junkrat main style build, not a Moira main playing Junkrat build. Okay, we got a bit of damage over onto Ryan's shield, but yeah, it's just always up. Shatter coming in over onto our tank as well. We are still in the lead though, but enemy team surely going to close that gap any second, as well we're not there. Cassidy getting a shot over onto the Moira. That is actually pretty big. We need more ultimates though. I think we are really missing Scientific Death Rod here. Not going to be able to do anything against the Mercy. Ash hits the shots. I mean, even if they missed the last one, I think the combination of the multi-ball and Phantasm Orbs there would have eliminated us before we could do anything. I did say that we're squishy, but our Cassidy is really popping off this game. Like, without Cassidy, I think we'd already be... Well, the game might even be over. Moira low, but does get behind the Ryan shield. We're going to get onto some high ground. No real targets there. Bob's coming in. We've nearly got our ultimate, but we've just... Deconstruction was already triggered, which means we're not going to get that for a little while. We tried to heal the Bob. Good Orisa ult here. We can get onto the high ground. It's an option. No, Coalescence. Oh no, healing Coalescence does so much more, even if they don't have Destruction's Divide. So we have to target the Moira. Also get the Ryan down. That's actually pretty key kills here. Still a Junkrat kicking around. Definitely got to keep an eye on them. Oh, up top's where the Junkrat's at with a Mercy as well. There's also the Ashe up there, so quite a few players. Junkrat rotates around now. We're still getting a bit of healing over onto our Orisa, which is nice. Cassidy again. Pretty insane, actually. And another one. Yeah, apparently we've got some worldy on our team. We do get the tire. Junkrat also taken down, who was contesting the cart for quite a while. But we are going to take this round. 2-2 the score. Let's see what we're going to do this round.
Quite the performance from these superstars. Coming up.
Right. A great Destructions Divide map. Especially with cheeky fade jumps up onto the high ground, off of the rocks. Yeah, we're gonna sell that ultimate starting thing. We could use the money better elsewhere. Catalytic Crystal. So you guys will be screaming, why haven't I bought this one? Well, it's pretty expensive. Like, to start with, I feel like just getting the stats is going to help you a bit more in the early game. But now we're going into round 5. I want this. I mean, we probably could have got it in the last round as well. So, Iridescent Iris. We've already got Biolite. What's it called? Yeah, Biolite Overflow. So when we use our ult, we should get quite a bit of overhealth. And that's obviously going to help us, considering, look at our base health. 335 going into round 5. That just is not enough. So we've got to hope, at least when we get our ultimate, that we'll have quite a bit of overhealth when we first pop it. Also, potential cleanses could be useful on our team from Biolite. And the cooldown reduction is going to be good as well. Let's have a look. We've got 12,000 damage, 12,000 healing. Dead even stats. Not particularly high though. Especially not when you're a Moira with an Orisa on your team. Like, normally you should get crazy healing stats. 65% attack speed, 20 ability power even, 25% attack speed with this build. That should mean Coalescence is going to do quite a bit of damage. The question is just, can we survive? Ashe is on a weapon power build. We're a 2-shot for her. We also don't have electrolytes, which means no little base overhealth when we first start around. I think we also didn't prime deconstruction. We got stuck on the Junkrat. Oh, it's close. Well, we do manage to nearly escape. Oh, Cassidy again. I mean, it's got to be a little bit sus, right? We don't have a Mercy damage amping that Cassidy. They're just hitting headshots all over the place. Still, our team currently the ones moving the objective. There's a Moira kicking around here somewhere. Oh, I wish that was a damage orb. Are we going to be able to get her before fade? Ashe certainly does. Which means we can get some nice heals over onto our team. Flat bounce the orb, so it bounces back towards the Rhine. Get the other side of the Rhine shield. Yeah, now we fade away. Ooh. Still this Junkrat spam, so frustrating. Cassie's in a great position up top. Oh, we have to fade. We got booped a little bit by the Junkrat. We did somehow manage to make it out of there, at least for now. Damn. Oh, the Orisa barrier getting there. Coalescence, Mercy. Can we even get them? Oh, the healing's annoying. Damage over onto the Mercy. Got to try and track her arcs. Mercy does get taken down. Ashe also taken down. And the Orisa ult was an ult. Ooh. Okay, we got our fade. And looks like Moira's just using the Coalescence for a bit of self-healing. Oh, can they also get the Ashe here? I mean, we can put out a bit of damage. Probably shouldn't chase the Moira here. If it's going to cost our Orisa. Oh, no, she's got a heal orb there. Oh, Cassidy finishes him off as well. Not sure how. Fading through players. We took Scientific Death Dodge? And I guess so. That's where we're getting the overhealth from, right? Also, think about this. We're in round 5, and we haven't got Chain Grasp or Cross Orbal or Phantasm in our build. What percentage of Moira builds do you think can say that? Like, what else are you going to run? How we don't get the Rhine there is that's unbelievable. Like, we have the stats. I mean, I guess they're just built almost full tank. Because we're doing damage against the squishies, but just not against the Rhine. Damage over onto the Ashe. Very low health. Miss. Thank you very much. Can we save our Orisa here? Ooh. We fade through. We definitely took Scientific Death up, by the way. Junkrat very low. Ooh. He hit that shot. 11 health. Ryan going for the fire strikes. Don't walk towards us. Let's get our health up a little bit. And also don't touch the objective. That helps us a bit as well. So yeah, it was actually, it was in round 4 that we took Scientific Death Odd, but I also remember when I played this game, I forgot that I took Scientific Death Odd. We focused so much on Destruction's Divide and Deconstruction that yeah, we completely forgot to use it in round 4. Round 5 we remembered and actually got some value out of it. Now I wanted to make this a video about not picking Cross-Orbal, Phantasm or Chain Grasp. We're not picking it. I'm trolling you guys. And I was going to make it a build that has none of those in there. But I think Cross-Orbal is just so important just to get back our resources, to give us some healing. I think we have to just do it. We could go for something like Void Hoppers, but we're not really getting good value out of it. We don't have a lot of health on there. It's not going to help us in our ultimate at all. Cross-Orbal is going to give us a bit more ability, damage and healing, which is going to work well with a catalytic crystal, which will build our ult charge up a bit. And on the same merit, I pick Extendrils, and it's about this moment that I went, maybe I shouldn't get Extendrils. We only have Cross-Orbal. I could have picked almost any other item for the same cost. I could have gone with Liquid Nitrogen. I could have gone with Lumerical Fusion Drive. I could have gone with Phantasmic Flux. Not Vanadium, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But there's so many more. I could Super Flexor. Maybe not Super Flexor. It's not the best with a Coalescence build because you get the stacks, but the stacks are going to wear off quite quickly during your ult. Like you can only have them for half of your ultimate. Maybe a little bit longer actually with a heal over time. Right, Deconstruction primed, damage orb into the point, but the Junkrat's taken down. I mean, we were hoping we could fade through a player there. Junkrat did take down our tank Cassidy, getting some kills. Can we fade through the Mercy? Yep, at the time that she does shift on out of there. I want to try and contest the point though. Nearly had my orb and fade. We got a bit more ult charge from that, but that's absolutely fine. Junkrat over onto our Cassidy up top. Kind of stuck a little bit there. Couldn't go back, couldn't go forward. Not a big problem though. Gonna provide a heal orb up top for our Cassidy. Okay, let's see how we can... Now I want to fade through these players, but maybe I can also put some pressure over onto the point. Over onto the Junkrat and Moira. Moira's very weak, does fade. Takes the mini, was so low health. It's a bit unfortunate. Okay, Orisa's still in there. Ultimate. I think Orisa's going to go down here, though. Does manage to take down the Moira. Our Anna, though, does go down in return. Can we bounce an orb out towards our tank? Not if they're off the map, we can't. We do have our ult. Don't shatter us. Okay. Oh. No, not a Riptide, please. Okay, onto the Ashe. We've still got Destruction's Divide. Makes the ult last so long. Like, those extra few seconds are really cool if you've built into the ult, that is. Okay, we need to get to the point, though. Kind of messing around in the enemy spawn, or near it, for a bit too long. Enemy team on 98%. It's going to be a bit of an uphill battle. Trying to get some heals over onto the Cassidy. Little mini nano boost on us as well. Fade through the Rhine, get some of that ult charge. We're up to 45%. Bob's over on the point. Junkrat very low, does get a couple of hits over onto us though. Fade through the Rhine for the ult charge. Rhine is chasing us. We do get booped around though. And somehow take down the Ashe, who just flew towards us. Okay, with the Bob on point. That's going to work. Okay, Rissa's off the map again, and Ryan uses the gadget to get back. We've got another ultimate, though. We know he's not going to have Shatter at this point. Enemy team feeling a little bit sus about the Cassidy as well here. So, after I played this game, I did go and have a look at the Cassidy, and I don't think they're cheating. Just for the record. I had maybe a look for about 3 minutes, and they're in third person. They've got the headshot item power even that increases the size of people's heads, which is just who came up with that, Blizzard? It's a terrible idea. Junkrat's behind us, fade through. We get some overhealth off of the Rhine, but we get stuck in a trap. Junk's not on us though, and we actually end up body blocking the Rhine. Another fade through. We're not going to get our ult in time, but that does mean we do close out the game with a 4-2 victory. Guys, let me know what you think. I wasn't trolling with these builds, but they definitely felt a little bit trolly. We can make pretty much any build work with Moira. It's just there's obviously some which are better than others. Either way, I hope you enjoyed seeing something a bit different. I know for those who've watched many of the videos on the channel, there's not that much variety in there because, well, there can't be, right? But this is one that's a bit different. Hope you liked it. GG. See you in the next one.